I'm pleased to report that we are progressing with the implementation of the Byram Planning Corridor. The 18-mile corridor was divided into 5 segments, and we have acquired right-of-way acquisition for one of the segments, and that is, let me go back and say, we have acquired 100% of right-of-way acquisition for segment 2, and segment 2 connects Sywell Road to Davis Road. Well, connects Sywell Road and Davis Road to Parks Road, and we have begun asbestos testing, demolition, and relocating utilities on segment 2. When that work is completed, we can advertise for construction of segment 2. We have been given a deadline of June 2014. That means to us, soon thereafter, that we can unearth some dirt, have an official groundbreaking service. So we are looking at June 2014, starting construction segment 2.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Supervisor Stokes.
Mr. President, I just have a couple of questions to whoever can answer. Maybe Public Works, I understand there's 5 sections, and we're going to have one that's completed in terms of trying to have the all the right-of-way. Is that correct? So what about the other 4?
They are diligently and aggressively acquiring right-of-way on the rest of it.
We got 1 out of 5. And we said we could break ground to complete the whole parkway?
Segment 2, from Davis to Parks Road.
Oh. What about the whole parkway?
FHWA, Federal Highways, and MDOT allowed us to break it up into 5 sections or segments, and each segment is a standalone.
So have we received any more federal funds? Do we have any more state funds?
Not at this time.
Do we have any municipal funds? Do we have funds to complete it? Thank you, Mr. President.
Supervisor Calhoun and Supervisor McQuaid.
Thank you. Our Public Works Director answered the question regarding the segments. The corridor was divided up into 5 segments, and the Federal Highway Administration gave Hines County the permission to move forward with construction as long as we had 100% right-of-way for each one given segment. So we required that for segment 2. On the northern end, we have acquired about 58% of right-of-way, and we're continuing along the route of corridor and acquiring the other parcels for right-of-way acquisition. It is not absolutely necessary that we have the entire 18-mile corridor constructed in order to initiate economic development. The corridor was designed for energy efficiency as well as to promote economic development. We have 2 key pieces to the entire 18-mile corridor. That's the northern end. Up at the northern end, we have the John Dale Williams Airport, Hines College, the aerospace industrial park. And again, because of those, the college, the industrial park, they are key in attracting and recruiting businesses along the route of the path of the corridor. On the southern end, we have businesses along in the city of Byram all the way up to Clinton, again along the route of the corridor. The more businesses you attract, we can promote economic development. So it's not necessary to have the entire project completed. As a matter of fact, along the middle section of the 18-mile stretch will mainly be residents. So we are actively pursuing acquiring the rest of the right-of-way on the northern end and the southern end. Again, is because those two segments have been identified as the most essential pieces to the entire project.
Thank you, Coach.
Supervisor McQuater.
Thank you, Supervisor Brown. Mrs. Calhoun stated some of the things that I was preparing to state, but just want to emphasize the fact that until Hinds County make a conscious effort to do some major things, some significant things to change its future will not change. And unless we make some major investments into improving Hinds County as a whole, it will not happen. 90% of the requests that have come before this board all have a dollar amount attached to it, which means we're spending money on a consistent basis. At some point in time, we've got to identify ways to increase our tax base, bring in new subdivision. And this is one of the opportunities that we have before us. The funding, nobody, for the most part, whether you say federal, state, anybody wants to contribute, continue to contribute money to something, and you have not done what you were supposed to do with the original money they gave you the first time. So we have to take the necessary steps now to move forward with the funding that has already been given to the county by the state and federal, as well as some actions we took on last week to reassign funds back to that account to move forward. So now we can hopefully stop projecting or wishing that we can break ground. Hopefully by next summer we will be breaking ground on a segment of it. And once you start that and make a commitment on that, then you can go back to the same people and request additional help or assistance or look for different avenues for fundings at that time. And so I'm in 100% support of developing the corridor. It is a long-term project, not a short-term project. It's not an immediate fix. It is a long-term project. But if you never start the project, we guarantee it'll never finish. And so this is a major action in that direction.
Supervisor Stokes and then Supervisor Calhoun.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, Terry, you help us vote, they're part of the Hinds County. They need help like gangbusters. I feel so sorry for you when we go out there and look at how they're barely existing, and we taking money for a project that will never be completed. And we can say, oh, we did first phase, or we're gonna do second phase. The project is completed in all phases. We're talking about the United States federal government put up some money. The same federal government just shut government down. And you think that those Tea Party people gonna send money down here for that part where you absolutely sick? It's not gonna happen. I talked to the mayor of Jackson last week. They're not gonna support a program. Now, the state of Mississippi, they haven't done it, but I don't see them giving money for it. But we're gonna have our money tied up with all the needs in this county. It's absolutely wrong that we're gonna tie up this kind of money on something that's never gonna be completed. They always talk about segment. Let's talk about completion. A project that is completed, it'll never happen. It makes no sense to be robbing people like that. Thank you, Mr. President.
Supervisor Calhoun.
Every year under the Federal Highway Trust Fund, division of their MAP 21 program, funds are being allocated to the states, to the Mississippi, to the state's transportation departments. Above and beyond their allocated amount every year. The Mississippi Department of Transportation receives extra dollars to assist local governments with high priority transportation projects. In 2014, I know some members of this board will be meeting again with our Mississippi Department of Transportation to request additional funds funds to support the construction of the Byram corridor. So funds are there. However, if we sit here and not aggressively pursue seeking additional dollars, then we don't get any additional funds. So I know personally that I will be about the business of not only again visiting with our congressional delegation, but also visiting with our Mississippi Department of Transportation people.
Thank you very much. We'll continue our printed agenda. We'll now go to Supervisor Greer, District 4.
Thank you. The first item that I have is on the Central Mississippi Planning and Development District. The appointment of Derek Johnson as the minority representative on that board has expired. And I would like to nominate, excuse me, Supervisor McWhirter to fill that spot. And so I'll make that a motion.
It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor
Question,
of?
Mr. President.
Question from Supervisor Stokes.
I thought Derek Johnson came from as a city appointment. Maybe not, I don't know. I know he was on that. Is he not a city appointment?
He was a county appointment.
County appointment.
All right. It's been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor of?
Yes.
Opposed to? Motion passes. Continue, please.
Okay, the next item that I have is, I'd like to move that we reassign 3 maintenance workers to the detention center under the sheriff's direction. These